As the world reflects on the three-year anniversary of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, the geopolitical landscape continues to shift dramatically. This solemn milestone has drawn attention from international leaders, including British Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer, who recently emphasized the necessity of U.S. involvement in securing Ukraine's future. In a virtual address to a summit in Kyiv, Starmer urged for a U.S. backstop to support Ukraine in any forthcoming peace negotiations, asserting Russia does not hold all the cards in this war. His comments come at a time when the dynamics of global diplomacy are changing, particularly with the resurgence of Donald Trump in U.S. politics. Starmer's remarks were part of a coordinated effort to bolster Ukraine's position as it faces pressures from both Russia and a shifting political landscape in Washington. The British Prime Minister is expected to meet with Trump following his recent criticisms of Ukraine's leadership and his calls for territorial concessions to Russia. Starmer's diplomatic balancing act reflects the complex interplay of alliances, where he acknowledges Trump's influence while advocating for Ukraine's security. At the same time, discussions about a potential deal involving Ukraine's rare earth minerals are intensifying. Ukrainian Deputy Prime Minister Olha Stefanishyna announced that negotiations with the U.S. are nearing completion, indicating a commitment to a free, sovereign, and secure Ukraine. This agreement not only underscores the importance of Ukraine's resources but also reinforces the notion that economic ties could be leveraged as part of a broader security strategy in the region. The backdrop to these discussions includes remarks from Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who stressed the necessity of involving Ukraine in any peace talks. Zelensky pointedly noted that Russia's strategic target is Europe, the European way of life and security, reinforcing the idea that the conflict transcends borders and directly threatens European stability. His statements resonate with the ongoing narrative that the war is not merely a regional issue but one that has implications for democracy and freedom globally. The specter of Trump's return to power looms large over these developments. His previous administration's foreign policy raised alarms about a potential shift towards a more isolationist stance, one that may not prioritize Ukraine's sovereignty. Analysts have drawn parallels between the current situation and historical precedents, warning that U.S. decisions could echo the appeasement strategies of the past, notably the Munich Agreement of 1938, which ultimately failed to prevent the expansionist ambitions of Nazi Germany. As international leaders converge in Kyiv to mark the anniversary, the urgency for a unified response to Russia's aggression becomes increasingly evident. In Washington, French President Emmanuel Macron's visit is expected to address U.S.-European relations and explore avenues for presenting a united front against Russian expansion. Macron's comments ahead of his talks with Trump reflect a recognition of the delicate balance that must be struck to maintain Western support for Ukraine. The interplay of these diplomatic efforts highlights a broader struggle to define the future of international relations in a world where traditional power dynamics are being challenged. With Ukraine's resilience against Russian forces serving as a testament to its commitment to sovereignty, the stakes for global security are higher than ever. As the world watches, the coming weeks will likely shape not only the course of the conflict but also the future of U.S.-European relations and the principles underlying the liberal international order. Amidst this complex web of negotiations and alliances, the call for a decisive and principled stance on Ukraine is clear. As leaders engage in discussions about peace and security, the need for a robust and unified front against authoritarianism remains paramount. The outcomes of these diplomatic endeavors will resonate well beyond the borders of Ukraine, setting the tone for a new era in international relations as countries confront the challenges posed by both Russia and shifting geopolitical alliances. As the world marks the third anniversary of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, the conflict continues to evolve, revealing new dynamics and challenges in the geopolitical landscape. February 24, 2025. Not only commemorates a tragic chapter in history but also highlights the resilience of the Ukrainian people and the international community's ongoing efforts to navigate the complexities of peace and security. This anniversary serves as a pivotal moment for leaders and allies to reassess their strategies and commitments in support of Ukraine. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, addressing a summit in Kyiv attended by foreign leaders, paid tribute to the heroes of Ukraine, emphasizing the nation's unwavering resistance against Russian aggression. Ukraine must be at the negotiating table together with Europe, Zelensky stated, underscoring the need for Ukraine's inclusion in any future discussions aimed at achieving a lasting peace. The president articulated that Russia's strategic target extends beyond Ukraine, aiming to undermine the European way of life itself. In conjunction with the anniversary, discussions surrounding a potential deal for Ukraine's rare earth minerals are intensifying, with the United States reportedly on the brink of an agreement. Deputy Prime Minister Olha Stefanishyna announced that negotiations with Washington are in their final stages. This deal is poised to affirm a free, sovereign and secure Ukraine as the U.S. aims to solidify its support in the face of ongoing threats from Russia. The proposed partnership could ensure that those who acted adversely towards Ukraine do not benefit from its reconstruction, signaling a commitment to justice and accountability. The geopolitical implications of this mineral deal are significant, as rare earth elements are critical in various technologies, including military applications. The potential agreement not only highlights the U.S.'s strategic interest in Ukraine but also reinforces a commitment to Ukraine's sovereignty amidst a backdrop of increasing global tensions. In the UK, Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer has called for the U.S. to provide a backstop for Ukraine in any peace negotiations. Addressing the Kyiv summit virtually, Starmer indicated that while Russia does not hold all the cards, the U.S. must remain a central player in ensuring Ukraine's security guarantees. This perspective aligns with a broader sentiment among Western leaders who recognize that a cohesive and united response is essential to deter future aggression from Russia. The military situation on the ground remains dire as both sides prepare for intensified engagements. Recent reports indicate that Russian forces have launched a record number of drone strikes leading up to the anniversary, employing Iranian and North Korean technologies to bolster their offensive capabilities. Ukrainian intelligence officials allege that Russia relies heavily on North Korean supplies for ammunition, which raises concerns about the long-term sustainability of military operations on both sides. Amidst this ongoing conflict, the human cost remains staggering. Ukrainian soldiers, many of whom have sustained life-altering injuries, continue to return to the battlefield equipped with prosthetics, demonstrating a profound commitment to their nation's defense. The resilience of these soldiers serves as a stark reminder of the personal toll and sacrifices made in the name of freedom and sovereignty. Looking ahead, the path to peace remains fraught with challenges. The potential for renewed negotiations is contingent upon a multitude of factors, including the willingness of both Ukraine and Russia to engage in meaningful dialogue. Analysts suggest that any agreements based on previous frameworks such as the Istanbul Protocols are unlikely to gain traction, as they would effectively require Ukraine to concede to Russia's long-standing demands for neutrality and disarmament. As the international community reflects on the past 3 years of conflict, the urgency for a comprehensive and just resolution remains clear. With leaders like Zelensky advocating for Ukraine's rightful place at the negotiating table and with the support of allies such as the United States and the United Kingdom, there is hope that a durable peace can be established. However, this will require not only political will but also a recognition of the fundamental rights and aspirations of the Ukrainian people. In conclusion, the anniversary of Russia's invasion serves as a critical juncture for all involved. The future of Ukraine hinges on sustained international support, strategic partnerships, and a commitment to democratic values. As the world watches, the actions taken in the coming weeks and months will be pivotal in shaping the trajectory of the conflict and the prospects for peace in the region. On the third anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Chinese President Xi Jinping and Russian President Vladimir Putin reaffirmed their commitment to a no-limits partnership, signaling a significant alignment in their nation's foreign policies amidst a shifting geopolitical landscape. The phone call, reportedly initiated by Putin, served as a platform for both leaders to discuss not only their bilateral relations but also the ongoing efforts to address the conflict in Ukraine. During the conversation, which was characterized as lengthy and substantive, she expressed China's support for Russia's recent dialogues with the United States, highlighting Beijing's readiness to assist in achieving a peaceful resolution to the war. She underscored the notion that China and Russia are true friends who have navigated challenges together, fostering mutual development despite external pressures. He emphasized that the bilateral relationship possesses strong endogenous momentum and unique strategic value, suggesting that their partnership is deep-rooted and resilient even in the face of international fluctuations. China-Russia relations will move forward calmly in spite of international vicissitudes, contributing to each other's development and revitalization and injecting stability and positive energy into international relations, she stated, reflecting Beijing's intent to position itself as a stabilizing force in a world increasingly defined by conflict and uncertainty. The backdrop to this reaffirmation of ties is noteworthy. Recent warming relations between Moscow and Washington appear to be evolving, with significant discussions taking place regarding a potential summit between U.S. President Donald Trump and President Putin. Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov indicated that preparations for an in-person meeting are already underway, with the leaders expected to address a variety of global issues, including the ongoing war in Ukraine. This development underscores a broader shift in diplomatic dynamics, where Russia, once politically isolated, is now re-engaging with Western powers. Xi's call also coincided with a notable moment in European diplomacy, as leaders from several European nations and Canada visited Kyiv to express solidarity with Ukraine, further complicating the geopolitical tableau. European leaders have voiced strong objections to U.S.-Russia talks that exclude Ukraine, with President Volodymyr Zelensky asserting that any negotiations must involve Kyiv to be legitimate. Moreover, Xi's endorsement of Russia's efforts to engage with the U.S. regarding the Ukraine crisis aligns with China's broader diplomatic strategy, which includes forming coalitions such as the Friends of Peace group aimed at promoting conflict resolution. This strategic positioning not only reinforces China's role as a mediator but also enhances its influence in global affairs. As the situation progresses, the implications of the Xi-Putin partnership are substantial. With China emerging as a critical ally for Russia amid Western sanctions and isolation, the two nations are poised to deepen their economic ties, particularly in energy and technology sectors. This relationship could reshape not only regional dynamics in Asia but also the global order, as their collaboration may challenge Western hegemony. Looking ahead, the unfolding dialogue between the U.S. and Russia, coupled with China's active involvement in promoting peace, could herald a new chapter in international relations. The intersection of these diplomatic efforts may create both opportunities and challenges as nations navigate the complexities of alignment, influence, and the quest for stability in an increasingly multipolar world. The coming weeks will be crucial in determining the trajectory of these relationships and their impact on the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. As Ukraine marks the third anniversary of Russia's full-scale invasion, President Volodymyr Zelensky has made a bold declaration that underscores the precarious position of his country amid shifting international dynamics. In a forum held in Kyiv, Zelensky stated he would consider stepping down from the presidency if it could pave the way for lasting peace under NATO's security umbrella. "If to achieve peace you really need me to give up my post, I'm ready," he asserted, indicating a willingness to trade his office for NATO membership. Zelensky's comments come at a time of heightened tension, as recent drone attacks from Russia have intensified fears of further escalations. Over the weekend, Ukrainian forces reported the interception of 138 out of 267 strike drones launched by Russia, marking the largest single drone assault since the war began. The Air Force confirmed that one civilian was killed in Kryvyi Rih during this wave of attacks, illustrating the ongoing human cost of the conflict. The Ukrainian leader's offer appears to be a response to the evolving U.S. foreign policy under President Donald Trump, who has recently signaled a desire to engage more directly with Russia, even suggesting that elections should be held in Ukraine despite the wartime restrictions. This shift has caused concern among Ukrainian officials, who fear that a rushed resolution could lead to territorial losses and increased vulnerability to Russian aggression. In response to Trump's comments, Zelensky expressed apprehensions about being sidelined in negotiations, stating, "I really want Trump to be more than just a mediator, that's not enough." The broader geopolitical implications of Zelensky's offer are significant. By proposing to relinquish his presidency, he is framing the conversation around Ukraine's security and its future alignment with NATO as critical to national survival. However, this willingness to step aside also highlights the desperation of Ukraine's situation as the country continues to endure the impacts of war on its civilian population, with more than 12,600 deaths reported since the invasion began, including a staggering number of children. European leaders have rallied to support Ukraine on this solemn anniversary, with notable figures such as European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen and outgoing Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau visiting Kyiv to express solidarity. Von der Leyen emphasized that the fight was not only about Ukraine but also about the future of Europe itself. The EU has also approved a new sanctions package against Russia aimed at further constraining its military capabilities and economic resources. Amidst these developments, Ukraine is exploring a controversial deal that would allow the U.S. access to its rare earth minerals, a move Zelensky had previously rebuffed due to concerns over security guarantees. His chief of staff indicated that discussions with U.S. representatives are ongoing, signaling a potential shift in Ukraine's approach to securing international support. As the war drags on, the humanitarian crisis deepens, with civilians facing compounded harm from ongoing conflict and infrastructure attacks. The United Nations has reported that the use of explosive weapons in populated areas has displaced millions and disrupted essential services. Looking ahead, the dynamics between Ukraine, the US, and NATO will be pivotal in shaping the outcome of the conflict. Zelensky's readiness to trade his presidency for NATO membership reflects both a strategic calculation and the urgency of a nation under siege. As the world watches, the stakes for Ukraine remain profoundly high, underscoring the need for a comprehensive and inclusive peace process that prioritizes the sovereignty and security of its people. The future of Ukraine's leadership, its territorial integrity, and its alignment in the face of Russian aggression hang in the balance as the international community grapples with how best to respond to this enduring crisis.